Vanakkam friends, Dr. Vanangamudi from Trinity Cultural Academy Coimbatore welcomes you for my presentation on plant breeding tidbits part 2. The topic for discussion is flowers and their structures, which comes under the reproductive biology. This presentation is highly useful for ICAR All India Entrance Examination 2021 for PG admissions, ICAR NET AIRS STO 2021 exams, and IBPS AFO 2021 exams, as well as PG entrance examinations of all state agricultural universities. Not only that, but also central agricultural universities and deemed universities and private agriculture colleges located cut across the country, which are offering the PG admissions. For any doubts, queries and questions regarding this presentation as well as other areas, you can reach me at the mobile number as well as WhatsApp number 9894904745. You can also reach me by sending message to my email vanangamudi.tnau@gmail.com. You can also visit my website, the Trinity Cultural Academy, as well as you can watch the videos which are being uploaded, about 150 videos in agricultural, horticulture, as well as the general studies in my YouTube channel, Trinity Cultural Academy YouTube. Now, let me talk about the flowers and their structures. And first of all, you must know what is inflorescence. The inflorescence is a group of clusters of flowers arranged on a stem composed of main branch or complicated branch. The inflorescence has again subdivided into two major groups, that is a simple inflorescence and compound inflorescence. The simple inflorescence are sessile disc florets forming the capitulum, which again subdivided into indeterminate, that is called as the racemose, and the main kind of the indeterminate racemose is the raceme. And the second one is determinate. The determinate inflorescence is called as cymose, and the main kind is the cyme. And the second major group is compound inflorescence, that is composed of branched stems. Now let us have a highlight on inflorescence types in a flow chart. Look at this flow chart. The inflorescence is divided into simple inflorescence and compound inflorescence. The simple inflorescence again subdivided into indeterminate inflorescence and determinate inflorescence. And the indeterminate inflorescence have a raceme, spike, corymb, umbel, spadix, capitulum and catkin. And while the indeterminate is the cyme, which has monochasium, helicoid, trypanium, scarpioid, cincinus, raphidium and digacial pleochasium. And that's all about simple inflorescence. The compound inflorescence have a components of compound raceme, thyris, anthella, thyroid and compound impel. This is the classification or the types of inflorescence. Next, we will see the inflorescence types which are available, which are present in the agriculture crops and horticulture crops. This is a summary of lengthy table, and this is more useful for the examination point of view. The first one is panicle, a branched raceme in which each branch has more than one flower and the flowers are perfect. Perfect means hermaphrodite or bisexual or complete, which means both male and female reproductive organs are present in the same flower. The examples are rice and wheat in the case of cereals, all minor millets including sorghum and bajra in millets. The horticulture crops, the mango, avocado, grapes and lychee in the case of fruits, lettuce in the case of vegetables, the spices like cinnamon, cardamom. And this panicle is also having imperfect, that is unisexual flower. Either male flower is present or female flower may be in the same plant or in different plants. The examples are lychee, yam, cinnamon, and the third aspect in the panicle is intermediate panicle, that is polygamomonoecious, that means the presence of male and female and bisexual flowers in the same plant. The classical examples are cashew nut and coconut. And the second type of inflorescence is tassel and cob, and the best example is maize, and this is monoecious plant which has male inflorescence, that is tassel, as well as the female inflorescence, that is cob, present in the same plant. And third type is raceme. It is an unbranched indeterminate inflorescence with pedicellate having short floral stalks, pedicellate flowers along the axis. And mostly the flowers are perfect. The examples are red gram, black gram, castor and sasana. And vegetables like cauliflower, cabbage and potato. The spices like vanilla, mustard, cinnamon. The nuts, the pistachios, and fruits longan. And the fourth is racemose. It is an unbranched indeterminate inflorescence that is having flat topped or convex due to their outer pedicels, which are progressively longer than the inner ones. And the flowers, mostly the perfect flowers, the green gram. Example, and in the case of horticulture crops, radish and null-cole vegetables and flowers like orchids. And fifth one is solitary flowers. Only one flower is present, and most of the plants having the perfect flowers. The examples are Bengal gram, soybean, groundnut and cotton. In the case of fruits, the sapota, guava, citrus, custard apple, passion fruit, persimmon, apple, almond, peach and plum have solitary flowers. And vegetables like bindi, ribbed gourd, the sweet potato and flowers like tulip, gerbera and the plantation crops like tea have solitary flowers. And the sixth and solitary flowers also have andromonoecious type, that is a staminate and bisexual flowers are present in the same plant. Pomegranate, ribbed gourd is there are the examples. And the third one is androdioecious, staminate and bisexual flowers in different plant, is located in different plants. Example, spices like garcinia. Monoecious, that is staminate and pistillate flowers in same plant. The vegetables like pumpkin, bitter gourd, ribbed gourd, snake gourd, ash gourd, bottle gourd, sponge gourd and chow chow. And the sixth type of inflorescence is spathe, and this is having two types, monoecious and dioecious. The banana is example for monoecious and date palm is example for dioecious. And the seventh one is cyme, and the flowers mostly perfect flowers. The examples are the fruits like citrus and durian, flowers like lilium and carnation, vegetables like tomato, brinjal. and spices like curry leaf. And cymes also have monoecious type of flowers, and the rubber is the best example for monoecious cyme. And eighth one is cymose. The flowers are perfect flowers, and the examples are clove and laertes. And ninth one is umbel, a type of resin with a short axis and multiple floral pedicels of equal length that arise from a common point. This is the umbel diagram, and the flowers are perfect flowers. The vegetables like onion and carrot are the examples. Spices like dill, fennel, aniseed, fenugreek and nutmeg are the best examples. The flowers like lilium and amaryllis are the examples of the umbel. And 10th one is corimbos. The flowers are perfect. The best examples are pear, goldenrod. The 11th type of inflorescence is spike. It is a raceme with flowers that do not have pedicel, that do not have peduncle. And flowers are perfect flowers. The amaranthus and beetroot vegetables, spices like pepper, ginger, flowers like bird of paradise, freesia, and freesia, the actinomorphic flowers are present, which is nothing but the radial symmetry arrangements. And spike too have monoecious. The best example is pepper. And gladiolus, the flower. And gladiolus is the protandrous. The protandrous means the androsium. The anther matures earlier than the stigma receptivity. And this spike is also having dioecious. The example is pepper. And the 12th one is spadix. A spike of flowers densely arranged around it, enclosed or accompanied by a highly specialized bracket called spathe. This is the diagram of the spadix. And this spadix is having monoecious spadix and dioecious spadix. Monoecious spadix example banana, anthurium, coconut and arecanut. Dioecious palmyra. And the 12th one is compound umbel. Compound umbel, that is the diagram for compound umbel. And spices like fennel, fenugreek, celery and coriander are the examples. And the 14th one is catkin. A catkin is a scaly, generally drooping spike or raceme. This is a drooping, and these flowers are monoecious with temperate nuts like pecans. And the 15th one is axillate flower. Axillate inflorescence. The most of the flowers are spike, and the best example is the cucumber. Cauliflowerous type of flowers are present in cocoa, and it is nothing but producing flowers from the main stem or older branches. Most of the flowers are perfect. And 17th one is corymboid. The flowers are perfect, and goldenrod is the classical example. The 18th one, the head is the flower head or capitulum, is a much contracted raceme in which single sessile flowers is borne on an enlarged stem. This is the figure for head. The most of the flowers are perfect flowers. The classical example is sunflower. The outer ray florets are sterile, whereas center disc florets are bisexual. In the case of horticulture crops, aster flower is a classical example. The last type of inflorescence is axillary cluster. The most of the flowers are perfect. Chicory spice is the best example. And I have given the type of inflorescence and flower types which are present in agriculture crops individually for all kind of plants like rice and wheat. In the case of cereals, millets, all millets, pulses, all pulses, oil seeds, fiber crops. I have documented the inflorescence types as well as flower type. and these tables are combined and the summary is presented earlier. And for horticulture crops also, I have depicted all the information in this table. The fruits, both tropical fruits, subtropical fruits, including temperate fruits as well as temperate nuts. The vegetables, tropical vegetables, subtropical vegetables, plantation crops. The plantation crops continue. Spices is continuing in this table, and flower crops and the flower crop is continued in this table also. And that's all about the inflorescence types present and also the type of flowers that are present in agriculture and horticulture crops. Next, we will move on to the next important aspect. What do you mean by flower? Flower is a reproductive structure of some seed-bearing plants, and this flower is available only in seed-bearing plants, and flowers may have either male flowers, that is staminate flowers, or female flowers, mostly the pistillate flowers, or it have both male and female organs, that is bisexual flower. That these androecium and gynesium are enclosed in an outer envelopes called the petals and sepals. Now look into the different parts of a flower. The calyx is a green cover formed out of the sepals. Calyx lobes are nothing but sepals. The corolla is a tube of petals. The corolla lobes are nothing but the petals. Peduncle is the stalk of the flower. The bract, any modified leaf or scale on a flower stalk or at the base of the flower, that is called bracket. The sepal, a structure that cannot be distinguished as a sepal or a petal. Lilies and tulips are example. The stamen is nothing but the androecium. This stamen is the pollen producing part of the flower, having a filament and anther where pollens are produced on maturity or during anthesis. And the pistil, that is nothing but gynesium, female reproductive organ, that ovule producing part of the flower consisting of ovary where ovules are produced, long style and stigma where the pollen germinates immediately after pollination, that will lead to fertilization. This is the typical diagram, longitudinal view of the flower structure. This is the flower stalk, peduncle, and this is the sepal, and it is altogether called calyx and petal, and the stamen, that is the androecium, which consisting of anther and filament, and the carpel or pistil, which consists of ovary in which the ovules are embedded, style and stigma. This is the typical structure of the flower. Then we will move on to the placentation. Placentation is nothing but the method of arrangements of ovules in the ovary. We have different types of placentation, that is a marginal placentation, and unilocular. Unilocular means only single locule, and ovules are on ventral suture of the ovary. The classical examples are dolichos and peas. Parietal placentation, ovules are on the inner walls of the ovary, and the classical examples are mustard, cucurbita, poppy and argemone. Axial placentation, ovules on central axis. The ovules are located in central axis. Examples are tomato, lemon, hibiscus and China rose. Free central placentation develops from axial. This is the axial. Septa degenerate and becomes unilocular. Only a single locule is present with Ovules around central axis. Ovules around central axis. The examples are dianthus and primrose. Basal placentation, ovary unicellular. Ovules are few or one at the base of the ovary. It is located at the base of the ovary. Examples are sunflower, marigold, tridax and helianthus. Apical placentation, ovules attached to the roof of the ovary. And the superficial placentation, ovary is multilocular, that is more important. Ovules develop all around the inner surface of the septa, and the example is nymphia. And stamen position, let us have different types, and first one is epi petals. The stamens are attached or inserted upon the petals. It is inserted, looks like it is inserted upon the petals, or gynesium. The gynesium, the examples are solanum and brinjal. Antipetalous, the point of stamen, the point of stamen is attached in line with the sepals. These are all the sepals, and the stamens are positioned in line with the sepals, that is the antisepalous. Antipetalous, point of attachment is in line with the petals. This is the petal, and the stamens are attached in line with the petals. And diplomostamenous, and there are two worlds of stamen. This is the first world, inner world, and this is the second world. And inner stamen is attached opposite to each other petal. This is the inner stamen attached to each petal, and this is the outer stamen attached to each sepal. Now we look at the different types of gynesium that are present in the flowers. First one is Monocorpus Gynesium. Gynesium has single carpel, only one carpel is present. The examples are rice and wheat. Apocarpus, the gynesium has multiple. This is 1, 2, 3, which are distinct and free unfused carpels. Examples are strawberry and buttercup. Syncarpus, gynesium has multiple carpels but fused into a single structure. Is not individual, it is fused. Example, tomato, mustard and tulip. Let us now see about the ovary position. The position of the ovary that is placed with other parts of the flower. First one is superior ovary, that is otherwise also called as hypogynous ovary. Ovary is attached to the receptacle. This is the receptacle above the attachment of other floral parts. Other floral parts like sepals, petals, stamens are located below the ovary, but ovary is located above all these parts. The best examples are peas, beans, mustard, China rose and brinjal. The next type of ovary is inferior ovary, also called as epigynous. Ovary lies below the attachment of other floral parts. These are all other floral parts like sepals, petals and stamen. And while the ovary is located below all these structure, the examples are orchids, banana, squash, this is spelling error, SQUASH, melons and cucurbitaceae. And the third one is half inferior ovary, that is perigynous or half epigynous. Here the sepals and petals and stamens are attached to the middle of the ovary. This is the ovary. All the other structures are located in the middle of the ovary. The example is peach, plum and rose. Next is flower types, that is having different flower types like bisexual or perfect flowers or androgynous flowers. And this type of flowers is having both male, that is androecium, and female gynesium in the same flower. and this is the typical diagram for this bisexual flower. The examples are lily, rose, tulip, mustard, brinjal, tomato, chili and mango. Unisexual flower. This type of flower will have either functionally male androecium or functionally female gynecium is present. The classical examples are papaya, coconut, maize, cucumber, watermelon, muskmelon, castor, snake gourd, bitter gourd and pumpkin and tapioca. And unisexual flowers have staminate type of flower or male flower. The flowers will have only androecium but do not have gynecium. Here gynecium is not present, only androecium is present, that is stamen, cucumber, chrysanthemum, squash and maize. And the pistillate or corpulate or female flowers, here only the gynecium present and no androecium. Here the gynecium is present and no androecium, no stamen. They come cucumber, chrysanthemum, squash and maize. And neutral or agamic type of flowers, this is sterile flowers and no sexual organs present. This is a typical diagram of that neutral agamic flowers. And the next we will have a discussion on sepals and petal types. And polysepals or polypetals. All the sepals and petals are free. There is no, it's not fused and they can be removed individually. Gamosepals or gamopetals, all the petals and sepals are fused together. They can be removed only in one group. If you remove, all the petals and sepals will come. And the perianth, the sepals and petals are not distinguishable. It is not able to distinguish sepals and petals. The typical classical example is onion. And stamen types, we have monoadelphous stamen, that's filaments are free or fused together. The filaments here, filaments are fused together from one group, and anthers are free. Anthers are free, and this type of stamen is monoadelphous. The China rose is the classical example. Diadelphous, filaments are fused to form two bundles. This is one bundle and this is another bundle. This is free stamen. This is a fused stamen. Example, classical example is peas. Polyadelphous, that filaments are fused to form many bundles. There are different bundles. The first bundle, the second bundle and third bundle. The example is lemon. The syngenesious type of stamen, the filaments are free. Here the filaments are free, but the anthers are fused together. And the classical example is sunflower. With this I will be completing. I am completing my presentation on flowers and seed. Their structures. If you have any doubt, kindly reach me, Dr. Vanangamudi, and you can call me or do WhatsApp by using 9894904745, or you can mail me using my mail ID vanangamudi.tnau@gmail.com, and you can also visit my website Trinity Cultural Academy, as well as watch the videos which are being uploaded in my YouTube channel, the Trinity Cultural Academy YouTube. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Kindly watch my videos, share to your friends and groups, comment, you do valuable comments, and subscribe. Thank you very much.